Craving adventure? You picked the right video. This is the Munda Biddi, a bike trail whose name is adopted from the local Indigenous language, meaning path through the forest. Your guide along this journey is Jake. Saddling up on a $100 second-hand mountain bike, we'll follow Jake over a month and a distance exceeding 1,000 kilometres. Along the way, you'll learn snippets of the Indigenous language and culture, experience local wildlife, and cruise through the ancient forests all the way to the pristine beaches. So saddle up, strap on your helmet, and join Jake on the ride of a lifetime.
The white-tailed black cockatoo. They're making a lot of noise this morning. You usually hear them making lots of noise when there's rain coming. I don't know, growing up you always used to see them flying away and making a lot of noise before rain.
Dwellingup POW Camp, the only permanent prisoner of war site established during the Second World War in WA. From August 1943 to April 1946, this camp catered for 1,200 Italian and German prisoners of war. The main objective of this camp was firewood collection for the Perth metropolitan area and local army establishments. It was an administrative centre for all prisoner of war activities in Western Australia, placing prisoners on farms across the rural regions of the state. Many of the prisoners sent back to Italy after the war returned as immigrants with their families to start a new life.
I knew there was a front coming. But this is a mild storm. Don't want to have to set up my tent in this. Making haste for Dwellingup. It's 5 k's away. Because I'm not sleeping in a shit house. Ended up just smashing it into town. 5 k's. Must have taken me, I don't know, half an hour, 20 minutes. My pants are soaked. Shoes are soaked. It's because the track is soaked. This is the same caravan park I stayed at on the Bibbulmun Track. I must be early or something. There's no hikers or mountain bikers or anyone here. But at least it's a better roof over the head without the smell. Get here late, you pay in the morning. That's the way it goes with caravan parks. They're always accommodating.
Could have been worse. I stood in that shithouse for about half an hour waiting for the rain to stop. The ground in that area was too hard to put my tent pegs in. So I thought, no, bugger this, I'm not sleeping in a shithouse. I knew this place from the Bibbulmun Track. I stayed here, so I knew this existed, and it was 5 k's away from that shithouse. So I thought, no, I'm just going to slog it into town. Only took me 20 minutes in that rain, but everything got wet. There's a rule in classic caravan parks that if you show up after the office is closed, pick a spot, settle down, go pay in the morning. Just went to the office, they're still not open. Hope they're okay. But at least, you know, I'll have myself a shower, I'll wash my clothes. Yes, that fridge was on the whole night, but at least I wasn't wet. I was warm, and I was tired either way, so... Yes, that fridge has always been that noisy, but it works, and tonight I won't be sleeping in here. I'll be sleeping in one of the doggies. In a bed. The bike needs some attention, so I'll work on that. Body needs some food, some good food, fresh food. Work on that. So yeah, lots of stuff to do on the recovery day.
Just going to carry out a bit of bike maintenance this afternoon. The panniers need some attention. Going to take that dynamo off, send it home with Alex. Got to straighten up the bars a bit. Yeah, that's how rough the track is. Adjust the spokes a bit. Now look what happened to my multi-tool. No kidding, I was wondering why there was more noise coming from that area of the panniers. This is all supposed to be joined together. It started coming loose. I didn't think it would come apart completely. But the point is, you can't tighten it up because all the tools to tighten it up are on it. And yeah, so that's a major dilemma. So that rattled loose. That's a judge of how rough some parts of this track are. The panniers, considering that they're road-based panniers, geez, they're getting the job done. I've got a couple of cable ties in there just to keep extra parts of it from jumping, shall I say. But look, I'm happy with them. Obviously, if money allowed, you can have your tent strapped onto your bars, and then if you've got solid forks, even if you don't have solid forks, you can put some little PVC tubes on here, or even buy the proper things. You can chuck a frame bag in there, and then most of them just have this little bag coming up the back of the seat, which is nice, which takes the weight off the back wheels so much. There's a lot of weight on the back of that. The tyres are, I wouldn't want to pump them up any harder, and they still do flex a bit, which is what I like about this choice of tyre actually. For a 26-inch bike, the 2.25 chunkies, as I call them, done quite well. Obviously you're going to pay a bit in top speed having such a chunky tyre, but I'm really happy with them so far. I've got heavy duty tubes in them and a spare tube over there. The fork seals, to be honest, they were bad when I got the bike, so I knew they'd be pumping out a bit of grease. Oh yeah, I remember the Friendly Magpie family from a few years ago on the Bib. Lovely creatures. I don't have fond memories of them though. Always having had slightly long hair and being bright coloured hair, they loved it. They drew blood, didn't you? Hey? Sharp beak. You're going to grow up to be a fierce swooper, you are. Or maybe you're going to get pretty fat if you're constantly scabbing. Hey, don't go in the kitchen. Out of the kitchen. Where was I? Yep. Spare tube tyres. Yeah, they're all going good. The rim does want to float to the left a bit and rub on the frame. Now, I'm not sure if that's because the frame is slightly bent, or if I really just need to work on my wheel truing skills. The fun is in figuring it out and having a good tinker with it. So, in Dwellingup, it just so turned out that my sponsors for this trip, Aaron and Curl, who own Go Camping and Overlanding, they also are the executives of the Whitewater Murray River Association, and they have this once a year thing that just so happens to be at the same time that I'm in Dwellingup. They gave me a call and said, "Hey, do you need anything extra?" And I said, "Oh, look, maybe if you've got a good mattress, I'll give it a go. But I've had bad experiences with mattresses." But they showed me this mattress and I said, "Yeah, okay, I'll give that a go." And they said, "Look, you can either stay in the caravan park an extra night," which is a beautiful place. I love that. They looked after me on the Bibbulmun as well. That's great. "Or you can come down to this place where we're going to have a party after a day of whitewater rafting. There's going to be fire, there's going to be food, there's going to be drinks. And then I'll head off tomorrow." So, can't thank them enough. Took them up on the offer. So I rode from Dwellingup to here. It's about 4 k's south of Dwellingup, just near the Murray River. And then in the morning we'll get going. But first, we're going to have a good time. This is Andy. Andy is a 5-month-old Goldie. And he's trying to sneak all the food, aren't you, Andy? The food of the evening is wood-fired pizza. Probably a smart idea to stock up on carbs. A bit of pineapple, because the only place that pineapple belongs is on pizza. Don't want to hear your arguments. Chorizo there. Moving across. Oh, jalapenos. Also known to the Intenso Road community as jalapenos. Some jalapenos. Yeah. Spilling jalapenos everywhere. You've got to have capsicum on your pizza. Bit of capsicum. Mushrooms, because fungus. Hold the phone. This looks like the spinach I got yesterday. Bit of spinach. Okay, look at that. Look at that. There. See that?
I walked out.
So, sleeping in another donga setup. This is a school camp. Can't remember which school. Christchurch, I think. No. Scotch College. Okay, they're all private schools. So this is a camp. That's where I'm sleeping. Got my bike here. Charging points there for my cameras. Funded thanks to Aaron and Curl from Go Camping and Overlanding. Go Camping and Overlanding. It's the only... Okay, Sunday morning. I think it's somewhere like 8 a.m. I don't know. It's bloody cold, especially when you start going. Really cold on the fingers. You know, I've got to pick myself up some gloves in Collie, I think, because the further south I get, the colder it's going to get. Yeah, really fresh morning, but it's gorgeous. The birds are singing. Wonderful. Yeah, you can really rack up some Ks on this track, that's for sure. Pretty slow going, so I get to Collie probably 3 nights between here and Collie for me. Some people do it quicker. Good on them. We've got some filming to do, so let's get on with it. Get the blood flowing again. Right, here comes a hill. Yeah. Okay, catch you soon. This hut is called Bibbulmun. It's only 12 p.m. It's such a gorgeous day. Figured I might as well just keep going. Might get to Lake Brockman, or just might stop when I'm tired. But first things first, fill in the book.
Well, whatever that is, it failed. Nice little bridge. I think I might have cracked a head stem bearing. Hear that creaking noise? I'll get that checked out in Collie. Looks like a haul road from one of the local mines. I must say, this is a pretty fancy tunnel. Pretty fancy. Gorgeous day for it. From going along the Murray River there to sort of coming up the southwestern side of Nanga. Says here on the map that, you know, there's a bench and a man and a woman, which means toilet, and a little fire pit, but all we've got is a bit of a clearing, and then about 100 metres that way there's a cleared section of mining. It's getting ready to do that, so you can hear the frogs down that way, and there's some running water down there, so boil that up and I've got a good water source for the night. And then it's on to Logue Brook Dam tomorrow. What's it called? Lake Brockman. So yeah, I'm gonna go up to the top of the hill there and check out my surroundings. But first I'm going to get some snacks. All the trees in this area seem to be affected by dieback. I don't know too much about it. All I know is one dead tree, that's fine, trees die just like everything else. A lot of dead trees in one area like this, in this part of the world, is a good sign that they have been affected by dieback. Everything's pretty much dead, apart from the undergrowth. Controlled burns might help, I'm not quite sure. This area has been cleared for quite a way back there, over the hill and down this way in a very straight line. So I'm not sure if this is going to be mined and then rehabilitated. But it seems to go way up over that hill in a very straight line as well, which, you know, gives me the idea that it might be used for a big power transmission line at some point in the future. It's a pretty sad sight, looks pretty devastating, but before everyone goes hating on the mining industry, all the technology we have, that comes from mining. You drive a car, you support the mining industry. You live in a house, yeah, you support the mining industry. A lot of the mining in this area is bauxite, which is processed to make aluminium. It's a very handy substance. We use it in everything. This camera that I'm filming with is made partially using aluminium. My bike, the frame on that is aluminium. So yeah, the tree park, the maps, the Munda Biddi maps I've got are as of 2010. I bought them this year, but you know, there's only so often you can get the funding to make an actual physical map that you can hold in your hand and unfold, and I love paper maps. I always try and get them when I can. The map was as of 2010, so obviously this was a very different place back then. There's still some gorgeous spots where I've made camp. Gorgeous spot, I can hear the frogs. One other thing I will say about the mines in Western Australia, probably have the best rehabilitation records in the world. They are very good. I could show you an area that's been mined and then rehabilitated, and you will not know, except for the fact that I've pointed to it and said that was rehabilitated. There's an area close to where I live. They stopped mining there in 1998. So yeah, 21 years ago. And the place is just a beautiful forest now, completely overgrown. It's lovely. So look, we've got to live and let live, because science has caught up and we can now regenerate this forest, and hopefully when it's being regenerated we can keep the dieback out. So there's my rant for today. A friend of mine made some sort of chorizo. Don't know if it's beef or kangaroo or what. See how it goes. It's got aniseed in it. It's interesting.